It's been over 100 days since I started this channel on YouTube, which is pretty bonkers. If it wasn't for the pandemic coming along and me having a little extra time on my hands, I don't think this channel would have ever been in existence. I'd probably been too busy riding bikes. So at the 100-day mark, I wanted to go ahead and check in, let you know where the channel is going, and talk about some of the experiences that I've had so far. If this is your first time joining us, I hope you consider subscribing. And if you're returning, thank you for returning. So going back to the first video, it was pretty nerve-wracking to post. I actually went back and forth for several weeks trying to figure out, was it good enough? Did it make sense? Was anybody going to watch it? Then I just finally did it, and it was such a burden off my back, and I was so relieved. So after I posted the first video, I waited, and nothing. No viewers, no subscribers, silence. Which was okay. It was actually sort of comforting to know that I wasn't being watched or judged by anybody. So I waited and posted another video, and then another, and another. And a month went by. Still no viewers, still no subscribers. And I finally decided, hey, I should try to see if, other people want to see this stuff, even though it was pretty entertaining for me to just watch my own content. And so I reached out to friends and I posted on Facebook, and I was mildly successful. We had a little bit of traction. And then things got interesting about a week after that. I got an email from a larger pair of YouTubers who run a channel that has 16,000 subscribers. And to put that into perspective for you, that's roughly 1,000 times larger than this channel is right now. So as you can imagine, I was pretty interested. Here's a couple of folks who wanted to collaborate, and they're obviously good at connecting with people and, finding viewers and creating good content. I eventually had to turn them down, and let me explain why, but here's what the collaboration offer was. They wanted me to be the director of photography / cameraman for a video production they wanted to put together. It was going to be something probably pretty short, maybe like somewhere anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes long. And they had some actors lined up and a script, which they sent to me. So I took a look and I realized a couple of things. First, it was a really one-sided collaboration. They offered to give me a video credit, but other than that, it really wouldn't have generated anything for the channel, so no video to walk away with, and really no exposure. So the second problem with the collaboration was that there wasn't any overlap in audience. The larger channel's content has nothing to do with bikes or snacks for that matter. So even if I was to get some traffic from their channel, the audience likely wouldn't stick around anyways. And the third reason was, honestly, the wealth of experience I had was limited to 5 YouTube videos, and I didn't feel comfortable taking their creative vision and trying to breathe life into it. So did I make the right decision? I don't really know. Maybe time will tell, or maybe you should let me know in the comments below whether I made the right call. But deep down inside, I really feel like the right exposure wasn't there for the channel, and it did sort of feel like I was just being asked to work for free. So fast forward to about a week ago, where my last story that I'm going to share with you today takes place, and it's actually more of an experiment. It was that I posted 2 very different videos on the same day. Video 1 was a behemoth 200+ hour project where I stripped down the paint off of a carbon bike frame, repainted it by hand, and sealed it up, and it's actually right here behind me. It's by far my favorite video. I not so secretly hoped it would take off and would just be this amazing thing on the channel. Video number 2 was the exact opposite of that. It was a video I put together in 4 or 5 hours, and it was just leftover footage from another video I did. So a couple weeks ago, I drove down to Yorktown, Virginia to watch my friend Evan finish the Trans Am bike race, which is a self-supported 4,176 mile race. Evan came in second place, and the winner was there, Craig. And the two of them had this really great conversation at the finish line, and I was lucky enough to film it with my camera. And I was also able to ask him a couple of questions. So I posted the shorter Trans Am recap, and the fans of the race really asked to see the long version of it. And so I put together this 50-minute long discussion between the two of them. By every metric measurable, the longer video, which took way less time to make, is absolutely crushing the DIY paint job video. And it's really not that surprising, because it really reinforced something that I knew at the beginning of this whole journey, which is that story matters. And quite honestly, the duel that took place over thousands of miles between Evan and Craig on this epic bike race, that's a story worth telling. And I think that's where this channel is going next. I think we're going to focus on stories, and more importantly, the people that are riding bikes and their amazing stories. So the next video I have planned is actually the story of one of my friends who was able to basically go from couch to Masters World Championship title in only a handful of years. The greatest thing about cycling, it's not new bike day, it's not fancy carbon rims, it's not the feel of ceramic bearings in our hands, it's the stories that we have when our heart is racing at 190 beats per minute, it's the times we've watched our friends crush their goals, and it's the new friendships we've made. I hope the next 100 days are just as interesting and exciting as the last 100. And that's it for today. I'll see you on the road.